pursue my true self.
Damn, this is lame. Well, our world's gonna disappear soon, no matter what. I didn't have anywhere to go back to anyways. Everyone's gonna become shadows.
All humans will become shadows, and I shall descend upon the united world as the master of order.
Descend? Order? What's with this guy all of a sudden? What's happening?
Guys, this isn't Adachi. It's someone completely different.
Both this world and yours will soon be enclosed in a fog that never lifts. It will be the peaceful world that mankind has longed for.
Who are you?
I am Ameno-sagiri, one who rules the fog, one awakened by man's desires. Do what you will, but your world's erosion cannot be stopped. It is an inevitability. You played your part well, stirring up the will of the masses into madness. But that will soon come to an end. Mankind will soon become shadows and live on in the darkness of the fog, oblivious of their reality.
What the hell are you? Why are you doing this?
I am the one that shepherds humans to their true desires. Though their hearts longed for peace, it could never be attained. So they tore down the wall between image and reality. Indeed, this is the outcome desired by mankind. And mankind's desires are my desires. That is why I decided to expand this world.
You're saying you're the one who created this nasty-ass world?
This is part of the sea of unconsciousness that exists within human hearts. A hollow forest born from bloated desire and false imagery. Humans view things as they see fit. They wish not for truth, but rather prefer the undesirables be hidden in fog. Still, humans fear what they cannot see. That brief yearning for truth becomes a ray of light which breaks the fog and torments the shadows.
That's why they attack and kill whoever's nearby at that time. A hollow forest. Then, this place isn't simply affected by people's hearts. It actually exists inside them?
Mankind abandoned its pursuit of truth, placing itself in the depth of chaos and falsehood. Thus, my strength has grown, and the fog will not lift. Your world will be engulfed by the hollow forest.
Will you shut up already? We'll just use our power to beat the heck out of you and it'll all be over.
It was I who made it possible for you to bring about this destiny. I bestowed power onto those who could brave the hollow forest. That is what allowed you to come in contact with this world, and you all have done very well since.
Bestowed power. Contact with this world. You mean the power to enter the TV?
Then the Midnight Channel, was that phenomenon also your doing?
Humans fail to see things as they truly are. They choose to see only what they wish. I acted only in support of this. A world filled with desires, viewed through a window from which one sees what one wishes to see. Humans departed from reality of their own volition, craving more false images.
A window that shows people what they want to see.
So that's why those who got famous suddenly appeared on the Midnight Channel, one after another. It was all in people's minds.
I have to say, it must be true. The Midnight Channel we saw in Namatame's hospital room, that kept bothering me since. What we saw there wasn't Namatame's true intentions at all.
Then it came on because we were all thinking, this person must be the killer, he can't be forgiven?
We let ourselves be deluded.
Exactly. The more false images one yearns for, the more one stops yearning for reality. And so the forest grows on. That is the expansion of this world.
Enough talk already! Long story short, you're the one behind all this! Yeah, I don't know who you are, but you're going down! People want to become shadows? Their desire is your desire? To hell with that! When did we wish for that crap anyways? We kept fighting and fighting like morons to get where we're standing!
Yes, that I did not foresee. The ability to master your own shadow that emerged to kill you and use its power. A new and uncertain facet of mankind. Is it worthy to put my trust in? Or not? It must be tested.
Of all the fog?
Indeed. I have come to put you all to the test and judge your worth.
Like we give a damn what you came for! You've done what you want so far, but that'll end when we crush you!
Precisely.
Then we know what we gotta do now.
I don't want people to turn into shadows!
We'll defeat it for sure. I'll back you up with everything I've got. This thing has no right to exist.
To defy me is a senseless act which goes against your world's wishes. Now, let everything vanish into the sweet fog of illusion.
It's huge!
Let us begin.
Counting on you! Persona!
Let's go!
Naoto-kun! Oh, this isn't good.
Persona! Counting on you! Persona!
Naoto-kun! Oh, this isn't good. Naoto-kun's hurt pretty bad. Can you heal her?
Counting on you!
Persona!
Persona! Throw down!
Let's go!
No one wishes for the fog to lift. Why act against the wishes of your fellow man? Consider, is that truly just?
No, Tokun! Oh, this isn't good. Kanzeon!
Throw down! Persona!
Yikes!
Counting on you! Persona!
Persona!
How foolish. Your actions will draw many back into suffering and strife. Why will you not understand this?
Persona! Counting on you!
All yours!
Naoto-kun! Oh, this isn't good. Careful, guys. Teddy's health is pretty low. Careful, guys. You're really low on health.
Counting on you! Persona!
Persona!
Hang tight, Naoto-kun. Hurry and get back up. Persona! Woo, you're up. Time for a counterattack.
You're gonna pay, damn it! Counting on you!
I'll have my revenge for that.
Persona!
Ow! How cruel!
Persona! Counting on you!
Persona!
Naoto-kun! Oh, this isn't good. Careful, guys. You're really low on health.
Persona!
Yosuke-senpai, your health is really low.
Counting on you!
Persona!
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 I see. Your powers are strong. Power comes from the heart. You have proven to me human potential. Very well. I will lift the fog from the place where you will return to. Mankind's desires are my desires. If mankind so wishes, I will return at any time. I am always at your side, watching.
Well, don't wait up! We'll keep that from happening no matter what!
Time will show the path humanity takes. Children of the new potential.
You think it was controlling Adachi-san?
Who can say? I believe it was at least partially his own intention as well.
So that's it, huh? Fine. Live however you want. If you think you have the power to change the future, then go right ahead.
Everyone has the power to do that.
Get out of here. The shadows will finish me off. Just leave me be. You came to kill me in the first place, didn't you?
No, dumbass. If we leave you here dying, and a dead body eventually appears, then what? What's that accomplish for anyone? Your stupid game's over. We're taking you back. Live and face your punishment. That's how it works in our world.
Right.
I'm sure that's the outcome Dojima-san wishes for as well.
We have the same power, but things turned out so differently for us. Friends, huh? That's the last thing I want to hear about right now. But maybe if I had been more like you, things wouldn't have gone this way.
Let's go back.
Greetings, Shirogane-san. We got word from Detective Dojima. He's wanted on suspicion of murdering Mayumi Yamano and Saki Konishi, right?
Correct.
Understood. We have an ambulance waiting downstairs. Should we have them bring the stretcher up here?
An ambulance?
Detective Dojima assumed one would be necessary. He wanted the suspect to be carefully taken into protective custody. It was a personal favor to him.
They were partners, after all.
Then yes, please have them bring up the stretcher.
Understood.
Like you promised, right?
Oh, Makoto! Don't run like that!
It's for real! The fog's really gone!
We did it. This time it's for real.
What's up, Senpai? Did you think I was crying? It's just so bright. It's been so long since the sky was that blue.
It's finally over. It took us a long time to get this far. But, well, this means we've won. Huh? What are we doing?
Ooh, what's this?
Everyone ready? Here goes! We did it! Woohoo! Why didn't you guys say it? You all joined in when Risa-chan did it!
I think that was a little too hard to get on the spot.
Which part did you mean for us to say?
The woohoo part!
Can we just do it over? Man, having to redo something like this kinda kills the fun of it. Alright, Chia, do that weird call again.
Not if you're gonna call it weird.
People are beginning to stare. I don't think we should stay like this much longer.
My hand's getting kinda sweaty.
Sheesh. Fine then. It's all yours, Sensei. Woo!
Dude, aren't you supposed to do this before you start something, not after it's over?
Huh? Who cares?
All right, let's wrap here for a moment because we have so much to talk about. For one, in the interest of full disclosure, there are some things I need to come out about. So obviously, if you don't know this game, but if you do, you know what I did. There was a very subtle edit between this part and the last. And that's because when you go to fight Adachi, obviously, whatever teammates you have with you on your team are going to be the same teammates that you ultimately face Ameno-sagiri with. And because I fought Adachi alone and then suddenly had a team, well, that obviously means that I cut and had to fight Adachi twice so that I could get the presentation that I wanted. The second thing that I need to complain about is I admittedly had to turn the difficulty down just a little bit on Ameno-sagiri. I had to turn his damage output down. Everything else I left alone. My output was still on the hard setting, which is less damage output, but I turned his output down just a little bit so I could tank some of those hits. And the reason for that is I feel I could definitely beat Ameno-sagiri in hard mode, especially given that this is New Game Plus, with a proper team. But a lot of throughout the entire game, my teams in boss battles have been about not necessarily the best strategy, but more so the story that I wanted to tell. So the team I brought in to the end of Magatsu Inaba was more about the characters than the strategy. So I thought, bring Teddy along because it's his world. Bring Yosuke along because it's kind of retribution because he was closest to the second victim, and bring Naoto on as an investigator, someone looking to close the case. That's just my logic. It's not perfect, but those are the three I wanted to take with me. And that's a tough pull for the Ameno-sagiri boss fight, especially because, and this came back to bite me so hard, I made a comment a while back that when we were talking about the functions of the spring visits, where I said, oh, you can also relearn moves that you've forgotten, but you should never need to do that. Well, I foolishly deleted Mind Charge off of Naoto, and that makes her completely worthless in boss fights. She's a tough pull in boss fights as it is, because she's more equipped to defeat shadows in the dungeons than she is to defeat bosses. But Mind Charge at least makes it to where she can be a good support member in a boss fight. Without it, she kind of sucks. So, yeah, and you can probably see it in that fight. So, there's so much I want to talk about, and I don't know if you can hear this, but it's raining a little bit outside, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of appropriate given the theme of this game. There's been so much rain, so I don't know how much you can hear it. Hopefully not too much, but if you can, that's all right. I want to talk about Adachi because, man, I did so much talking about the plot of Persona 3 when I played that game and had the chance to stop and talk about all the moving pieces. But with this game, it's really hard to do that because all of its central themes are hidden. It's a mystery, and you can't spoil the mystery for someone if they don't know it. Adachi is my favorite character in this game. He's a lot of people's favorite characters. Adachi is very popular among fans. There's no question about that. Though I'm not one of those people that sarcastically or, facetiously says things like, oh, Adachi did nothing wrong. Oh, hell no. Adachi did everything wrong. Adachi is a fucking dirtbag, and that's why I love him. Adachi is such a different villain for the Persona franchise than what games prior to Persona 4 had given. There had been human villains in Persona 4, like, for example, what's his name, Kendori from P1. There's a certain a-hole in P3 that kind of stabs you in the back. Not to mention Strega in P3, three characters that are looking to stop the P3 cast. But Adachi's different. So much about other people's desires, or human desires in Persona games, in the previous games, ultimately ties in with the ultimate kind of theme of Persona games, which is that in the end, there's some supernatural bullshit going on. And like Kendori in Persona 1, he wanted to like become a god or whatever. And there's kind of a similar theme in Persona 3. So Persona 4, Adachi's not really like that. But it isn't to say that in the end that his shit didn't obviously tie in a similar way, because, Ameno-sagiri emerges from him, and once Adachi's inside the TV world, he kind of realizes what's going on, and he's like, oh, the entire world is shit, and it's going to turn into shadows. Isn't that convenient for me? But throughout the game, he doesn't know that. He doesn't really know all the details about the TV world because he's never been there personally. He knows that it's a murder weapon. He knows that if people get stuck in there, they die. But he doesn't really know all the rules and the logic behind it. Until, obviously, he escapes on December 5th or whatever that is, 6th. So Adachi's motivations are basically two things that are very central to Adachi's character before he's apprehended. One, and it's kind of weird that the Persona franchise never really outwardly states this. P4 doesn't say it outwardly in this game or subsequent games, but Adachi's a pervert, like straight up. This dude is really dysfunctional and has some kind of bent up sexual rage because he murdered 2 women because of it. He killed Yamano because he had this weird crush obsession with her, and when he got to meet her and confront her about the rumors of her affair, he didn't exactly like what she said, so he killed her. And then with Kenichi, basically his assumption was he either witnessed or was informed of Saki Kenichi having contact with Taro Namatame. And at this point here, he doesn't like Namatame because, after all, he's banging the TV chick that he kind of had a huge weird obsession with. So he's like, oh, fuck this guy, fuck this politician, probably some player or whatever. So now he thinks that Kenishi's like with him as well, and he thinks that this high school girl is banging this politician. So he's just like, hey, I'm gonna try to get me some of that. And then when she's like, no, I'm not like that, get away from me, creep, he's like, oh, fuck you too, bitch, I'll throw you into the TV as well. And that's really his motivation. He is, what's the word to put, demented. He is just really dysfunctional and weird. But beyond all that, Adachi has a really strong hatred for pretty much everything in general, in life in general. Unfortunately, Persona 4, Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4, as well as Persona 4 Golden, though P4G does a much better job of it because of his social link, there's a lot of things that are supposed to be interpreted about Adachi's character that aren't outwardly stated. It's taken years and years. Like, here I am in 2016, and it wasn't really until 2014, 6 years after P4 originally released, that kind of all the pieces came together on Adachi's character. You had the original game. You had Golden, which added his social link. You had Persona 4 the Golden animation in the summer of 2014, as well as the release of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which we're going to get to down the road and get to see what his role is in that game, because he will be in it. And all these things kind of piece together the puzzle of the way Katsura Hashino and his team really intended the player to interpret his character. At the end of the day, Adachi is the complete antithesis of not only what the franchise stands for, but what the player and the player character Yu Narukami stands for. Now, there are obviously some things that kind of hint towards that, the biggest of which is the fact that he has a persona, and it's Magatsu Izanagi, a complete, yang form of the main character's base persona. That's a huge dead giveaway right there. But everything about the way he views life, which is, again, and I'm going to, they'll probably already be up considering that this is now after the Adachi fight, but I'm going to put up the clips from Persona 4 the Golden animation. Whatever you think about that animation, a very short 10-episode part that really only touches on the changes in Golden and rewrites some things. Some people like it, some people don't. But there are about 2 or 3 episodes in the middle of that animation that focus on Adachi's social link, on his backstory, and the ultimate fight with Yu, and the resolution to all that. And it's done so perfectly. The people that wrote and directed that just hit the nail on the head in those few episodes. So I'm going to have clips from those scenes that I really like, and that'll be on the channel. I might, if I can remember, I'll throw them in the description or something. And really, Adachi's character, again, complete opposite of what the player character is supposed to be. And there's a huge parallel between the two of them. It's not just that they have similar personas. It's that their lives are very, very similar. You have to consider that Adachi is not from Inaba. He's from, presumably, Tokyo. He's from the big city, as they say. And so is the player character. So is Yu Narukami. So they both end up in Inaba as kind of transplants. But Adachi is obviously about 10 years older. I want to say Yu's about 16 to 17 at the time of the game. Adachi's 27, I believe. That's stated in his social link. But the paths that they got there are similar but different. Presumably, Adachi was supposed to be a lot like the canon interpretation of Yu was supposed to be in high school, and that he's very studious, he's smart, he's bright. But before coming to Inaba, before awakening to the power of Persona, in the case of Yu, there's reason to believe that, like a lot of the main characters in the franchise, that he was very sheltered, very what's the word? He's very inward. And whereas Yu obviously comes out of that shell, Adachi never does. Adachi ends up not ever learning the lessons that the game tries to teach its players. Things about creating bonds and forming friendships and living life as a member of society. And I'll throw this out to Persona 4 the animation. which is kind of weird. A lot of people, that's kind of a mixed reaction about how good the Persona 4 the animation is, the full length 24 episodes or whatever that is. But no truer words, I think, are spoken about the franchise than at the very end of one of the episodes. I believe the first half of the entire series, where the credits roll and they play this really good song called Beauty of Destiny that has Lotus Juice rapping, and it's a real nice song. And at the very end, when like the final beats go out and the song ends, the screen goes white and it says, "The bonds of people is the true power." No truer words can be said about Persona than that. That is the ultimate message. You can say it's about things like death and demons and supernatural shit, but at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. And that's certainly what it's been all about ever since Hashino took over at Persona 3. No question about it. And Itachi is the complete antithesis of that. He's such an asshole, and that's why I love him. It's because he isn't the average villain. He's not necessarily driven by world destruction, though at the very end he kind of conforms to that. He isn't driven by greed. He isn't supernatural. He's just a guy. He's just a guy that stands for everything that stands against everything that the franchise stands against. And when I say he's just a guy, no truer words. Again, that really is the message. One of the messages that is to be taken away about Itachi is that he's not special. Just because he gained the ability to enter the TV world, there's nothing special about him. He wasn't a chosen one. He wasn't this, destined person. One of the messages about Itachi that the team really wants you to walk away with is that it could have been anyone. He could have been anyone. Anyone could have been Adachi. Any person off the street is capable of what Adachi did, given the right circumstances, given the kind of outlook on life that Adachi has, because it's not an uncommon feeling. And one of the scenes from the Golden animation, the one that I'm definitely going to put up, the fight scene between Adachi and Yunarukami, which is just beautiful, perfectly directed, has an original song by Soji Meguro with fantastic lyrics and fantastic composition called Ying Yang. Ying, Y-N-G, Yang. And the lyrics of that song are just great because it's all about Adachi and you and the give and take. And the chorus really is all about Adachi's character. And during the breakdown, those are some of the lyrics used, is that he could have been anyone. It could have been anyone. And it's a haunting feeling to think that anyone could have been capable of what Adachi did. But that's sadly the truth. I love him. I love his character. I'm not going to say that I'm illusioned by what he is or what he's done. Adachi's such a dirtbag. But that's why I like him, because he's so fantastically written, and he is second only to Aigis from Persona 3 in terms of characters that I love in this franchise. What a fantastically written villain. Ooh, he's so good. So good. Moving on, I think if you know Persona 4, then you already know this, but this game is not quite over just yet. And obviously, if it was over, this would be the finale. But it's not. We still have gameplay to go. We have some events to see. I think the big dead giveaway, if you want to get into game design here, is that we managed to complete a social link and gain the ability to fuse a new Ultimate Persona, Lucifer, I believe it was, for finishing the Judgment social link, after having caught the killer and having defeated Ameno-sagiri. Now, isn't that weird? Why would we still need to fuse personas at this point, unless there was more gameplay ahead of us? I mean, that's kind of a given in Persona 4 Golden, but even if this was original P4, that should be a dead giveaway that the game isn't quite over yet. We still have unfinished business. Now, what could that possibly be? I'm not going to tell. I hope you don't tell either. If you know, don't tell. That's just, bad. Don't do that. Don't take the fun out of it. And anyway, we're going to cut this one a little bit short now. That was The Almighty. What a fantastic end to a year-long saga dating back to April. And when we pick up next time, we'll have a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of fun, a little bit of romance, and we'll get to, we'll start off with a new intro. I think I promised it all the way back, 42 episodes ago, 41 episodes ago, all the way back the very first part, that we will finally get to work in the new intro for Persona 4 Golden, Shadow World as it is known, when we start off part 43. So until then, I'll see you then. Have a good one. And, well, reach out to the truth.
I search for your heart, pursue my truth.